Hey, what's up guys? This is Joe from Analog Archive back with another vinyl video. Today's video is going to be another contribution to the Blue Note 1500 series project. Today I'll be showing Blue Note 1560. This is called Hank Mobley Sextet. On the back it says Hank Mobley Sextet, but this is kind of more known as just being called Hank. It's got Donald Byrd on trumpet, John Jenkins on alto sax, Hank Mobley on tenor sax, Bobby Timmons on piano, Wilbur Ware on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on the drums. Another larger scale arrangement for Hank Mobley back at 1540. One of the ones that I had shown earlier a few weeks ago was also a larger arrangement of musicians, and it really works very well on this one, just like it did with 1540. This was recorded April 1957 and then came out in October of 57, so a pretty quick turnaround there, about 6 months, and just a really excellent set of musicians. I already talked about Donald Byrd, really starting to heat up. You're starting to see him on more sessions. John Jenkins, who I talked about, I think, in my last one, is a real excellent addition as well, and one that will appear on 1573 as well, with Kenny Burrell. Hank Mobley is starting to get a lot more sessions as well, especially as a leader. I don't know what number this one is for him, but he's had at least 2 sessions at this point, and then as we kind of continue to go, 1568 being the infamous session, and then as we move into the 4000, just him real heating up at that point. Bobby Timmons is great to see on the piano, someone that really did not have a lot of sessions. He shows up here and there, but you don't really hear his name a whole lot on some Blue Notes. I mean, he obviously will go on around this time or shortly after this to be with Art Blakey, and the Jazz Messengers, obviously be on Monin. But yeah, just a real great arrangement of musicians, larger session, but it works really well. It doesn't sound crowded or like big band feel or anything. It's a really solid session overall. So there's 5 tracks on the album. Both songs on the A side are written by Hank Mobley, and then all 3 of the songs on the B side are other musicians that I believe none of them are, yes, all 3 of them are just standards. And so the first one is called Fit for a Hanker. Again, that's the Hank Mobley original. It's got a moderate to a little bit faster tempo. I'm a little more on the moderate side. Really great solos by John Jenkins, and along with Hank Mobley, Donald Byrd, all 3 of them have some real solid solos to begin. And then about maybe 3/4 of the way through the tune, there's just this break, and all 3 horns come together, harmonize really well, and then it just kind of they drop off, and Wilbur Ware comes in on the bass with some real killer bass notes, and it just works really well. It's one of those ones where if you weren't really paying attention when you were listening to it, right at that point it really hits you in the face. When I was listening to this like 2 days ago to get ready for this video, at that point everything stopped, and then it was just like, wow, it was incredible. And it goes on and off. Wilbur Ware takes a few bars to solo, and then the horns come back in another harmonize kind of point, and then Wilbur Ware gets an extended solo, which again is real impressive. Bass is not really an instrument that I always listen for or anything, but on that track, it's hard not to hear that. It's really great. Definitely recommend listening to that track. Closing song on the A side is called High Groove, Low Feedback. very interesting name for a track, but another one that's moderate tempo. This one's a little bit faster than that opening track, but killer solo by Donald Byrd on this. Just piercing that real higher register that that he really is very well known for, and it's really great to hear that. I think of all the musicians, Donald Byrd definitely stood out to me on this. I mean, it's hard to pick because that front line, Byrd, Jenkins, and Mobley are all incredible, insane musicians, but Donald Byrd really stands out, just a really great solo there. And a real common theme as well on this is that John Jenkins and Hank Mobley, on quite a few of the tracks, they have back-to-back solos, and they really complement each other really well. On quite a few of them, Hank Mobley starts, and then John Jenkins will have a solo later on in the track, and it's a real nice contrast in that sax sound between them, and it's really enjoyable. One that you don't. I mean, it's not terribly uncommon to have an alto sax and a tenor sax on an album, but this one, it really works very well. Wilbur gets another bass solo on this, and then Philly Joe Jones takes a monster solo as well to kind of close out the track before they come in at the end. And just a real iconic sound. He was very heavy on the sticks, and so a real enjoyable solo there. Then we move on to the B side. The first track is called Easy to Love. That's a Cole Porter composition, and real fast-paced, real swinging kind of tune to it. A little bit different than what you hear on the A side, but really enjoyable on that. And again, Donald Byrd he has, I believe, he has a second solo. Hank Mobley starts the solos off. Real great way to lay down the track. And then Donald Byrd comes in and just makes it his own, and is really, again, that higher register that he has on the trumpet, and his ability to be able to effortlessly go from note to note was definitely seen on that one, and a great way, or a great thing to kind of hear on that. And then Philly Joe Jones gets another solo on that one. Again, just has never been gentle with the drum kit, and so just really hitting those drums hard, and really very impressive, very enjoyable for that as well. For the second song on the B side, Time After Time, that is a Jewel Stein and Sammy Kane, I believe, or Kane, yeah. And I've seen those composers before. It's, according to the liner notes on the back, it's a tune from the 40s, and yeah, according to Ira Gittler, says Time After Time, an extremely lovely ballad of the 40s, is revived here in a heartfelt version, which shows that all the hornmen can play pretty as well as swing hard. So the only ballad on the album, and just a really great sounding one, and just, yeah, nice contrast. It is great to hear the ballads on the albums. I do prefer the faster tracks, but it is nice to hear the musicians slow down, and really you hear more of that emotion that's coming from them. So that's a great one. And then the closing track is a very well-known one, dating back to the 40s as well, the bebop era, the Bud Powell original Dance of the Infidels. I'm not always great at being able to pick up on some of these tracks, and where I've heard them before, but Dance of the Infidels is one that you hear on pretty much every album dating back to the later 40s, early 50s. A lot of the albums that were redone for the 12-inch era that came out in the late 40s, early 50s. It was on Bud Powell, which was right at the beginning of the 1500 series, 1503, and then it's on one of the ones that I showed a little bit ago, the amazing, or the fabulous Fats Navarro, 1532. So it's just a real iconic bebop track. Impressive work as well. It's a little bit, definitely a fast tune, just as really all bebop really tunes are. And what really stood out to me was Bobby Timmons on the piano on that one. Just really kind of tipping his hat to Bud Powell and trying to come up with a great solo to really honor him for that great track that he composed. So overall, a really enjoyable album. One that I'd actually gotten last April, right at kind of a little bit into the early stages of the pandemic. Found this on eBay, and was interested in getting more Hank Mobley stuff. This is another one of the United Artists mono, the 72 ones. It sounds incredible. For whatever reason, I bought it last April, and I don't know if I just had a lot of albums at the time to listen to or whatever, but I never listened to it until recently when I was getting ready to do this. Not really sure why I didn't listen to it. It's actually not what I do at all. I always listen to the albums when I get them. But really very impressed with this album overall. Just great sound, great musicians. One that is tough to find. You don't really see or hear about this one. Not a lot of pressings of this either. A lot of those, as I talked about in other videos, the UA monos are not that usually highlighted the titles that did not get many pressings, or if any pressings, in the 60s. So an enjoyable one if you happen to come across this. Yeah, just a great one. So again, this is Hank Mobley Sextet, Blue Note 1560. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please think about liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next vinyl video. Bye.